Hey everybody, welcome to another good e-reader comparison video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Today we're going to take a look at the Amazon Kindle Fire HD 7 versus the Google Nexus 2nd generation. We're going to take a look at the e-reading experience, what the store ecosystems look like, and give you a sense of what both of these bring to the table. And we'll finish the video off by playing a movie and give you a sense on how audio and video both look. Let's look at just the specs really briefly before we get into things. Nexus 7 is running Android 4.3, while the Fire HD is only running 4.0. They both have 7-inch screens, but the Nexus has a fairly solid resolution. You have 1920 by 1200, and the Fire only has 1280 by 800. The Nexus brings a quad-core 1.5 gigahertz processor to the table, while the Fire HD only has a dual-core 1.2. Most things are relatively the same. They both don't have an SD card, but the Nexus has 2 gigs of RAM versus the Fire's 1. Full specs are in the YouTube description.
First thing we're going to start off doing is looking at the home screen. You can see this is the standard Android experience. You can drag and drop icons, you can have live wallpapers, you can put widgets and all that kind of fun stuff. You even have little things like recommended for you and sources of news and all that kind of stuff. This is the home screen on the Kindle Android. That's all you really have is this carousel and whatever is already pre-made there for you. The only thing you have customization over is your favorites, really. You can long press and hold apps here, and you can say add to favorites or remove to your device. That's about it. Other than that, it's skinned from Amazon to be this way, and you can't change it. And if you do have those apps that you've downloaded from outside sources and they configure wallpapers and live wallpapers, they will just crash because they don't have that access.
Yeah, so you can look at it as this is the purest form of vanilla Android that you could ever encounter. There's no bloatware, there's nothing, whereas this, it's pure skin. So it's, you know, there's virtues of both, and there's also cons of both. Let's take a look at the ebook experience and check out what it's like on both of these, just reading a normal ebook.
So we're going to open Kindle on here, and since this is a Kindle, all we have to do is open a book. You see that it kind of saw that page, so we're going to go to the exact same page, and now we're synchronized. So you can see here that this is the stock experience on both. The Kindle screen is a lot longer, although they are both 7-inch screens. Tapping in the middle brings up all this text changes and all that, so you can scale the text up and down on both, margins, line spacing. We're not going to go through every single one of these because they do different things and you can experiment with them on your own there. You can change the screen color. Every time you do on the Nexus, it kind of fades away, whereas on the Kindle, everything changes live. You also have font styles. You can change those and so forth. We're going to long press on both. This brings up text selection, so you can make multiple colored highlights on the Kindle.
Yeah, this is actually an upgrade to the Kindle Fire HD. They actually just introduced a lot of like new features, and colors are new, but they're not actually in just the normal Android version of it. It's only on the Kindle Fire.
These are the differences in the keyboard. Very flat looking here, a little bit more dimension here because it's got some shading. Both of them are Android, so when you press the shift button, they both go into capitals, which I love. I know Apple seems to have a big problem with that. You also have the number rows. They're very similar to each other because they are both Android, and with the Nexus at least, it does have the full customization for you to download outside keyboards and install them. Not so much on this because it doesn't have a lot of those options opened up. Last thing we want to show you in the e-reading experience is X-Ray. This is just specifically for the Amazon Kindle devices, not for the Kindle app. So what this is it will show you characters, terms, people, and so forth of just things mentioned throughout the book. For example, here we go, Mr. Clancy is mentioned a couple times, whereas Ms. Kylie O'Shea is mentioned throughout the entire book. So for example, we can click on this and it shows you every time this particular person is mentioned, and you can click on that part and it'll actually go straight there.
Yeah, it also has a number of kind of other cool features where if you buy the audiobook and the ebook, you can engage in things like whisper sync for voice, so you can have the audiobook playing and the text highlighted in the book as you're reading it. It also has some cool things where, say we are in this book that we're reading on page 34, if we buy the audiobook, it'll pick up on the audiobook version exactly where you left off on the ebook version.
Right.
And this is only indicative to the physical Kindle devices. You can get this through their apps on third parties. So it's one of the more compelling features where if you're looking to buy one of these devices just for the pure e-reading experience, I would probably have to give it to the Kindle Fire. I mean, it's RAM processor resolution is not as good as the Nexus, but it's really hard to beat those kind of cool features.
This is a Kindle. I mean, it is a Kindle. This is running Kindle, and this is a Kindle. So you're gonna get the full package with this guy.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at something a little bit more visual. We've spent a lot of time here at the ebook. Let's take a look on how something with a little bit more graphic power looks.
We're gonna open up a magazine. So we had a slight crash there, but it'll open right back up. So we have a art magazine. And we're going to click read, and this will give you a good idea on what the colors look on both of these devices side by side. You can see that the screens are utilizing pretty much the same amount. We'll try to even them out here. So it's not too bad. Now, these don't have any reflow options or anything. They're not PDFs, but they do have pinching and zooming. You can see that the screen resolution is a lot greater on the Nexus 7, so keep that in mind when you're comparing these two pictures and everything you see in this tutorial, review, sorry. So lots of textures, lots of colors in this magazine. Let you guys judge for yourself, but we're just strictly showing you side by side.
All right, let's take a look at a comic book. Most of the times people are buying 7-inch tablets these days in order to read comics, because with digital comics, you can get them the exact same day as the print versions come out, so there's not a real big lag anymore like there used to be a few years ago. So comics are on tablets, very viable. Comixology actually is available on Google Play and the Amazon App Store,
yes.
So you don't have to sideload in your own copies. Being the Comixology app, you have guided view where you can isolate specific panels. This makes it viable to read in both landscape and portrait mode. We tend to read comics more in portrait mode because it's the way that comics have always been done. You know, that 2-page sort of portrait view. I do like reading digital comics, and you can see from this picture, really, it's the same image on both. You can just kind of quickly see how it looks.
Looks very nice. Yeah, portrait's way better for comics, always has been. Looks really good on both of these guys, and they're both using pretty much the same amount of screen, so
yeah,
this will definitely be a good look for you guys to check out when you're ready to make your decision on which tablet to purchase.
All right, let's take a look at the newspaper experience, which is the final e-reading experience that we'll pursue here.
So this is the zoomed out full page version of the newspaper. Very unreadable.
Vancouver
obviously.
represent, y'all.
Yes, it is. Very unreadable, of course, because this is basically like holding a newspaper a couple feet away from your face. But we have our little built-in magnifying glass here, i.e. pinching and zooming. Pretty fluid on this. You're going to get a little bit of choppiness when you hit the edges and so forth. You see that there's blue highlighted titles. If you click any of those, what you're going to go to is a page view, article view rather than page view. So what this will do is go article by article in what almost looks like an actual ebook. And you have ways to change the font. A couple more options here you see on the later versions of Android, whereas this is actually still in the Android, the earlier version, so you're not going to get the most updated experience as you would through an actual Google Play certified device. So you can change the font and so forth. So this is actually not too bad, that you don't just have to read the page view and try to zoom in and have a big trouble reading it. You can actually find that ideal stage by going into article view.
All right, well, when it comes to sound, the Kindle Fire HD7's been doing a very good job. It has numerous speakers, and its sound is pretty well unparalleled versus a lot of other tablets on the market. So how exactly do these two tablets stack up with the audio and video experience? This is what we're going to check out next.
Our home has come under attack.
Who would do this?
Luke, turns out you're not the only half-blood who's hard to kill.
The only thing that has the power to save our home is the Golden Fleece. It's in a sea of monsters. For only our finest heroes.
This is a bad idea.
You don't even know what I was going to say.
You were going to say that you're going after the fleas.
Actually, he was going to say we were.
Hang on to something.
So you can really tell the difference between the 4 speakers on the Amazon Kindle Fire 7 HD and the 2 speakers on the Nexus 7. Keep in mind that this has been the Kindle Fire HD selling point for over a year and a bit now, the speaker quality. So, make a decision based on, when you make your decision on what tablet to purchase next, make sure you note that the onboard sound quality is amazing on this, but there's so many both of these really bring to the table.
Yeah, overall, the Nexus 7 has better specs on paper. That means something. As you can see from our real-world conditions test, obviously the Kindle has better sound quality, but I think the Nexus 7 did a little bit better job in all of the other departments. Of course, we want to hear your thoughts. YouTube.com/GoodyReader is our channel. You can leave a comment on this video and let us know your thoughts. If you are swayed in either direction, or if you have one of these tablets and you're thinking about upgrading to the other, let us know your thoughts and concerns, and let's get some discussion going. This has been a comparison video of the Google Nexus 7 second generation against the Amazon Kindle 7 HD. For GoodyReader.com, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.